Hi, Namaskaram and welcome back. I wanted to record this video as early as possible, and right now I just came out of Samyama. So I still remember last year I was staying with one person and I asked her after she came back from Samyama that how was your experience. तो उन्होंने कहा कि कुछ बोलने के लिए है नहीं, and that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. But anyway, let's get started. So in this entire video, this video is going to be long, a little long, because I'll be sharing 4 different parts of the entire Samyama program. Number 1 is application process and how is the selection happens, and second part is what is the preparation and how I went through the preparations, and third part is what is my experience, and fourth I'll share about what you can do to prepare for Samyama. Cool? So let's get started. After Bhavaspadana and Sunyam, I filled the form for pre-Samyama meet. So the form for Samyama doesn't come as Samyama application form, it comes as Samyama pre-meet. That form gets processed further and further and further, and then it becomes a Samyama. So based on that you get the confirmation of Samyama. If you apply for that Samyama form, pre-Samyama meet, there only you will get to choose the date and time on date and place where you can attend the pre-Samyama meet. So after attending the first thing, which is pre-Samyama meet, you go for interview process. At the end of September and beginning of the October, our interview process was scheduled. So I think I waited for around a month, not a month, around 20 days. So I think 22nd of October I got the first mail, and I was there inside my office working on something, and there was one Anna seats next to me. He told me, "Hey, did you check your mail?" I said, "No, what is it?" So he asked, "Check." So I went and I checked, and first thing I got was the TNC email. TNC as in terms and conditions. They first ask you to agree to the terms and conditions so that you can go for Samyama. So once I filled that terms and conditions and I applied submit, within 30 minutes of filling that form and submitting that form, I got the confirmation. I was really happy, because this is something that I really wanted to go for since the beginning of me trying to go into spiritual direction. First thing I wanted to do Samyama. So that is how you get the confirmation email. And after confirmation also, before that, this 60 days period gets started. In the pre-Samyama meet only, they will tell you what is the guidelines and how you're gonna be inside this Samyama. So most of the things that they're gonna tell you in this pre-Samyama meet. So what you're supposed to eat, how you're supposed to prepare yourself with the sadhanas, what should be your dress codes and everything. So right now, see, I'm wearing a white kurta. So it is a dress code of Samyama. And also there will be orange color t-shirts you can wear, but that has to be from Isha Shopee only, because from Isha Shopee the kind of set that they provide, that's the only set that is allowed inside the hall. So it is recommended that if you are wearing the same kind of clothes, then you can go for that. But one thing that you will find, I think inside here, only inside the Isha Shopee, because for Samyama participant the clothes that they provide with certain discount, I think it is there. So if you are planning for Samyama, then better you can check here. In case they are providing clothes for less price, then better you can go for getting some same clothes over here, because in 200 around amount you will get the clothes which you might find a little expensive outside, but again the quality of the cloth will be really good in terms of the cotton. So that could be one thing that you can check for. And then second, this is the complete preparation strategy or the complete selection process of Samyama. What is the next step comes in? Next step is preparing for sadhana. So initially I was not preparing for sadhana. I was preparing in terms of whatever I was doing, but the Sukha Kriya, sitting and doing Sukha Kriya for 1 continuous hour, that is something I was not doing. So during my interview process also, the Anna asked, "Are you able to do Sukha Kriya for 1 hour?" I said no. So he told me very, strongly suggested me that this is something is very important. This program Samyama is not like other programs like Sunya or Bhavaspadana, which you can take like this. This is something is very important, and it is best for you to prepare yourself for Samyama by doing Sukha Kriya for 1 continuous hour. It is always recommended to do 1.5 hours, but 1 hour is good enough. So at least do 1 hour every single day. So this particular thing actually hit me so hard, and I promised myself that I'm going to do Sukha Kriya for sure. So from that day onwards, I shifted my brunch to 1 hour. So usually I go for 10 a.m. batch, and I started going for 11:10 batch. So this 1 hour I used to go to Dhyanlinga and I used to do Sukha Kriya for sure. So around some days I could do, some days I could not do. I'm not going to lie over here that I could do complete day. But one thing that I found in terms of benefit was, since I was staying here in the ashram, the food that I was eating was mostly Samyama friendly food. And there was one incident where in Samyama you better not eat dairy products, because in dairy products some certain, like what happens is it sticks to the stomach, so that is why they recommend to not to eat dairy products. But here in the ashram, what happened one day, paneer was made, and just because paneer and gravy was not separated, lots of people who were preparing for sadhana samyama, they threw the paneer away. And this paneer was made from the milk that was offered to Dhyanlinga. So one ma got really frustrated about it, and she really, not frustrated, I would not say like we used that kind of a word that for a brahmachari, but this is something that a lot of people could not take, and that actually I ate the paneer, because I thought, there is a significant time right now, even if I eat, even if it sticks, but after like 10-20 days it will go away anyway, right? So I ate that paneer. But that is one thing that happened in the ashram. Since you have watching me continuously for a long period of time, you must be knowing that last 15 days, whatever I recorded, whatever I upload, all those things was been recorded before. So I wanted to prepare myself in terms of video recording as well, that I wanted to record this many videos so that I do not have to spend any more time in recording video, but video will go on one by one, and at the same time I can do my practices and I'll get more time to practice. As Samyama approaching, I can intensify myself in terms of sadhana. Around 1 month before than Samyama, I was preparing myself very well, since I was doing some videos as well. But the moment I stopped recording video, I thought this much video is enough for now, and this much video can like completely go through the Samyama process as well. I stopped recording video, and just because I stopped recording videos, the pace that with which I was going, that reduced as well. So I thought I will gather more time for myself to do preparation or do some hatha yogas or do some sukha kriyas, but it happened reverse way. So I became more lethargic, because when I was preparing for video, I used to do pat thing, like initial in the morning I have to complete my all the sadhanas, then I have to, there's a small break that is there, so in that break I have to come here towards Adi Yogi, then I have to record the video, then I have to go back. So this process used to be very keeping me on track all the time, like always be on time, reach fast, walk fast. So the intensity that I was living with, that was there during that time. So with that intensity also, I was doing Sukha Kriya very easily. But the moment I stopped doing this video recording stuff, that is when the problem happens. And I could not do Sukha Kriya 1 day, 2 days on something that happened. And in between that, our rooms has to change, because some bed bugs came, and all that stuff happened. And because of that, I could not keep up with my sadhanas. So somewhere I was feeling scared. In fact, I have uploaded one post in community post that I'm feeling scared because it feels more like a preparation before going into an examination. So somewhere I found lots of people have given really good comments around that. I'm really thankful for those people who were there with me, giving some suggestions that what you can do and how you can approach towards it. So I'm really grateful for those people who were there with me. But the moment I went inside the Samyama program, the experience was completely different. That I will explain later. Now, talking about the check-in process. So finally the day arrived. I was not prepared. I was like little bit having that feeling within me that I'm not prepared well. And no matter how much you try, no matter how much you prepare, that sense of feeling comes within that it's not good enough. But since I was here in the ashram, the hatha yoga practices, that was going amazingly well, because they give us guided hatha yoga meditations, like Surya Kriya, not Surya Kriya, it's yogasanas. They make sure that everybody does yogasanas every single day in the morning. And since Samyama was approaching, they increased the time to 1 minute. So we were holding our asanas to 1 minute completely. So that was really good thing that they have done during this Samyama period. Now comes back to the day when the check-in process was about to start. So first thing that they told us that you should not go before 4:30. Because the check-in process is going to start around 5:30 in the morning, so it's best that you should not go for 4:30, because what people will do essentially otherwise is that they will go and they will make a queue before the time. So for the security concern, they asked not to go before 8, because since we are here in the ashram, they asked us to stay. But around 4:30, people started moving, and the roommate who was there with me, he already did one Samyama volunteering. So he knew how the things happens. So he told me that I'm going to go early, 4:30, by 4:30 only I'm going to leave. See, he had one cycle, the cycle on which I'm recording. I've skipped this camera right now. I'll post a picture of it. So he first And then he actually asked me also, so when are you going to leave? I said around 4:30 only I'll leave. But the next day morning when it happens, I said like around 5 I will leave, because it felt quite early to me. But what happened during this process is that, since all the participants who were coming from outside, they also has to come and they also has to go through the check-in process, just to make the check-in process easier for people who are staying in the ashram, for Sadhanapadas or Purnangas, for them to process like medical check-in process and bedding check-in process. These two processes were arranged earlier. So one day before I checked in my medical, I did medical screening and my bedding. These two things I get it done. And just because I got it done, and what I did is I kept this check-in pass with the medical kit. I kept it inside Suryakund office, because that is very near to the Suryakund. So the next day when I came back, the first thing that I needed was the check-in form, which I kept in the Suryakund office. So I rushed towards Suryakund office in the morning 5:30. In the moment I reached there, I saw that it was locked. In the morning, it was not opened. I was really not sure what to do about it. On the other hand, one of my roommate who went earlier, he texted the message in the group that already 700 people have arrived, so please come early. See, the concern over here is that if you go early, you can be able to do the check-in process faster, and if you do the check-in process faster, you can be able to go inside the hall faster. And when you go inside the hall, you will get the front seat. Front seat as in front bed, in which you will be able to see Sadhguru very closely. So that was the main concern. So if you rush, then you will get to meet Sadhguru first. But it changes later. The perception changes. I'll explain how. So right now I'm very much, confused that what I'm supposed to do, because I do not have the key, and Suryakund office is locked, and I had to wait for it. So I called here, there. I called so many people that when the Suryakund office is going to open or something. So somebody said it's 7, somebody said it's 7:30. So I was a little bit disappointed, and I went back and I stayed in my place. Around one complete row, around 700, 800 people already were there sitting right there. So for me, the second line started, so I went there and I sat. So after sitting, one by one, people started going for the check-in process. Now when the check-in process started, one thing that happened is that they gave everybody time to do the check-in. So initially, first they have divided all the people into different groups. They will send you in the confirmation email only the check-in pass. In the check-in pass only, it will be your number, Samyama number would be written on it. So that number, based on that number, they have divided certain groups. So groups, and based on that, there are counters. There are different counters in which you could go, and after going in those counters, you could do all the check-in processes. So in the beginning only, they gave everybody form based on people who came early in that order. They gave everybody one form and form. So the form has the timing in it, and based on that timing, your luggage screening, your check-in process, and your hall entry time was written. So in that time only you were supposed to go. So this single street, made everything simple. 3,000 people were participating in this Samyama, and the check-in process was so smooth. There was no hurry. Nobody was rushing, nobody was fighting, nobody was screaming, nobody was doing anything. It was so simple, and I could not imagine how effortlessly, how seamlessly the process went. Everybody was sitting, everybody was doing their own stuff. There is no problem in that. So in the initial phase, whoever got the first slot, they asked those people only to come and do the check-in process, and later they send all the rest of the people to do some sadhana or do visits in the ashram only. So since we were there as Sadhanapada inside the ashram, so our medical screening and bedding thing was done. But if you guys who will be coming for Samyama from outside, medical screening, and the second thing was bedding. It will not take much time, but still there will be a little bit of queue for which you will have to wait a little. But it's not a big deal, because it happens very quickly, and there will be lots of doctors who will be sitting over there. Okay. And the bedding thing is very easy. You have to just pay for the money and then poof, stamp. That's how it is. That's easy how it is. But make sure you have some cash with you, because the QR codes and all this all that stuff doesn't work over here. Now, second thing is, when the check-in process started, first thing that you have to do is submit your valuables. Even if you are the person who are staying in the ashram, you have to submit your valuables, as in mobile phones and all the gadgets that you are having over here. Best that you do not bring any kind of cameras or laptops or all that expensive stuffs, you know. After that, you go for the check-in. In the check-in, during the check-in, they take your mobile phone, they will give you some certain cheat, and they will give you one big form, and where they will be attaching one QR code with it as well. Now what you have to do with the QR code, that is the next process. But you know, for check-in, what I did was, I did not go on time. I went 15 minutes earlier, and when I went there 15 minutes earlier, I saw the line was slightly, you know, started reducing. So I went there and I started waiting, and when I was waiting, one Anna asked me, when is the time, Anna? I said, I have 15 minutes yet to go. She said, no, you can go right now. So that is one thing happened. So if you have given a particular slot, then at least you can come in 10 to 15 minutes early as well. And most probably, if the first group already gone, they will let you in as well. So you do not have to wait for further processes. For luggage screening, the process was happening, but somehow I saw the ladies line was so long, but the gents line was so small. So I went there, I did not wait for it, and I did luggage screening. They asked me few questions, that what you have inside the bag and what you do not have inside the bag. And for some people, they were checking one by one completely throughout, I mean the entire bag, all the clothes, all the items that they have taken inside it. So all the things that they were checking. But after that, again they asked us to go to some certain rooms. And after there, inside, people will be there, there will be volunteers who have certain allotted room for certain numbers as in the number that you have given, the tag or the QR code in that. So in that your number would be written. So based on that, they will assign you some certain room in which you can keep your baggage. So it's not like that again you go to the room and you find some space. Everything is pre-planned. They have find out, they have fixed for room for you, they have fixed location in the room for you. So everything that is already pre-planned, you just have to go through a seamless process without being hurried. Even if you be hurried, there is nothing you can do about it. You just have to go very slowly. Now, once you done the luggage screening, then you have to wait again for your turn to come for the hall entry. Again, I think I was on time. I was a little early of time, but I had to wait there with my bag because I was carrying my own mattress with me. So I was waiting there, and the time came. Slowly the process goes, and slowly everybody they let everybody to go inside. So I went early, but I had to wait there for a significant amount of time, so it was on time only. Then I went inside, and then I choose my bed. Now when you go inside, there will be limited beds only. Already the beds would be taken, because the people who went before you, they would have taken the beds and they would have already folded. So based on that, there will be volunteers to guide you, and somebody in there always announcing continuously that what you have to do, and volunteers will always be there to guide you and how to go about the process. So when you go inside, actually you will already have a certain bed that is open, and you have a limited options to choose, because this is the best and you have to choose this one only. So the moment you get the pass in the morning, that will only decide how and which bed you're gonna get. So initially if you go early, very early, then you will be able to get the earlier beds, and later if you go, you will get later beds. But just because it's a very big hall, it doesn't really matter. I'll tell you, in my experience at least, even if you go and sit at the end of the hall, it will not matter the moment the program starts, because what will matter in the program is that the sound, the quality of sound that you will get, because the quality of sound you will get will be deciding your experience, and that is what it is. I mean, you will not feel at all that you are far or you are very close to it. So it doesn't matter. And anyway, mostly Sadhguru doesn't come to the program. Only same like Bhava or Shunya, the way it happens the similar way, only in certain programs, only in certain places Sadhguru comes, and he for mostly answering questions, and at the end, the closing session, he came. In those 2 times he remained there for a long period of time. Otherwise, during the meditation processes only he comes and he do something and then he goes back. So that is how it happened, the entire process. But in the beginning only, I'll talk about 2 more things. In the beginning only, first day I went inside, and the kind of food they served, I was confused, because the food that they served was very, very light. I mean, even if you eat like 5 plates of it, your hunger will not end. But good thing was they provided 3 times food normally, because here in the ashram we usually eat 2 times food, but in there it provided 3 times food, because so many people are coming from outside and they have this habit of eating foods like continuously, you know. For that particular reason they have provided 3 times food only. Now after food only, in the evening the first session started. In the first session only they asked us to go through some certain processes, and in that process I must tell you that first day I was feeling the most cold, and it was cold literally. During the night it was cold, but during the process I was sweating. I was literally sweating, and this was something that I could not explain, because if you have to sweat, you have to run, at least you have to jog, at least you have to walk, but by simply sitting, how can you sweat? And that is on top of in the winter evening. Now in terms of experience wise, what I felt was the first day, the first sadhana that they have given to me, and I did it with such intensity that I was sweating by doing nothing. As I've already mentioned this one, it was the most amazing experience for me, because I felt like I was doing the exact thing that was told to me. Because when you are not aware of what you are doing and then you are just following the instruction and exactly what happens, what they have asked you and what they have, you know, told you, and if that happens, you know that you have done it right way, because हमें पता ही नहीं होता कि we are doing it right or not. So because of the instruction, that one thing happens to us. So when that happened to me, I was really I was enjoying it, and I found that myself, I was sitting in the entire time continuously without moving from the same position or same asana. And I did that. Next day I did the same thing again, but next day in the morning half, when the same thing happened to me, I could not sit in the same place as I was sitting in the first time. I was just moving all around because my body was aching all around, like ankle, knee, this backside of me, and this bone, and this particular part of my body. It felt like it was just going to fall off from this shoulder, you know. That is what I felt in the first day, second day in the beginning. But by the second day, when I was so intense about the sadhana that I desperately wanted Shiva to come. And I became so emotional at one point that I was desperately shouting like anything to get Shiva down from the place where he is to this place right now. But I knew this is not going to happen, but somewhere the desperateness, the desire of him coming to this plane of existence was so high, and I was so emotional that I felt like tearing, and then in the next moment I was tearing actually. So a few drops of tears came just out of my eyes, and that's the first time I experienced something so emotional, so touched within me that I was crying inside. Now, so this sadhana process kept on going. I kept on doing irrespective of what is happening to my knee, this, that, everything. And I was so intensely doing my sadhana that when I tried to focus on my breath, I did not find my breath anywhere. I checked my stomach, it was not there. I checked my chest area because it was not there. It was not like going forward and back or contrasting or expanding. That was not happening. I checked my nostril because I was sitting like this and just trying to check where is my breath, and I did not find my breath anywhere. But somewhere I knew that I'm alive, so it has to be there. And I did not find breath, and somewhere I felt like my body become like air and it just become transparent, anything can pass through it. I couldn't feel my body at that moment. So I just tried to change my posture a little bit, and I realized that I was sitting just a little bit tilted like this. So I corrected my posture, and I was holding my hand palms facing downward, because if you try to see this, observe it by yourself also, you'll see. When you put your palm facing downwards, the breath that you experience is the bottom half of your lungs. But if you keep your palm upwards, you experience the upper half of your lung, the breath. So I changed my postures to upper half, and suddenly I started experiencing the breath within me. Later, again, I found a little difficulty to experience the breath within me, but this is one thing that happened to me on the third day. Fourth day, what happened was, till fourth day, so far I have said so much that I felt now I can sit comfortably easily. But by the time it was happening to me that some section of the meditation I was enjoying it a lot, but after some section when it was getting tougher and tougher and tougher, I started feeling like I just want to go out from here. I do not want to stay in here, because whatever they were asking us to do, I did not find it like this is the thing that I have to do. Because somewhere I feel like I think this is not, too much in terms of the sadhana. I don't think I need this one. somewhere I started feeling like that, and the sadhana that I have already given, the sadhana that I have already got is good enough for me. So if I really want to do sadhana, if I really want to go in the spiritual path, I can continue with all the sadhana. So this particular sadhana Samyama is not needed for me. That's how I started feeling like. But somewhere, what to do? I'm stuck with Sadhguru, and so somehow I started feeling so bad about the situation. I just did not wanted to come out of this program, but I wanted to go out of the Sadhanapada itself, because at some point of time I started feeling like, dude, Sadhanapada is still 3 months yet to go. So far I was feeling Sadhanapada, shit dude, Sadhanapada is just ended. I mean, before Samyama, I was feeling like that, because it's already a significant part of Sadhanapada is already gone and only 3 months left. And in these 3 months also, this is going to go very fast, because in front we have Shivanga Sadhana and there is Mahasivaratri. For those preparation, it just goes like poof. And I knew it will go like that, but somewhere I felt like 3 months is a really big time for me, because I was really feeling like it's done, it's enough for me. I am not going to go much into these things anymore. So that is I was feeling, and suddenly inside my head I started thinking about in my career what I'm supposed to do, what I'm going to do next. Till now I was feeling like I'm going to go Purnanga for sure, but suddenly inside this program, in the moments my mind was changing. I was thinking like either Purnanga, and then in the next moment I was thinking like no, I should go back, I should do the rest of the things that I like normal human beings do. I knew that it is not going to give so much fulfillment to me, but still I have to do this one. And somewhere in the middle of it, I started thinking of creating my own ashrams and creating my own programs and all that stuff, because somewhere I started feeling like, yeah, I kind of know all that stuff now, that at least in the lower basic scale I can do all these things. So with this pace I started going, but within moments to moments, after every sadhana period, every sadhana timing, every sadhana session, my mind was changing. So by the time I was accustomed to the schedule as well, so I knew that what is going to be there in at what point of time. So I could easily calculate that this is amount of time is remaining, and by the time that ends, I was feeling like, okay, one more day gone. I started counting the day, but by the time 4th and 5th day came, I was almost in that situation that the days can go now, just like that. And at one point in time, I was so still by just sitting that. And in the beginning days I was not doing Hatha Yogas. First day I did Hatha Yogas, and third day I did not do Yogasanas. This 4th day or 5th day I did Yogasana. And the time I did Yogasana, I felt so flexible that I actually sat there in Paschima Uttanasana for around 3 minutes. This is not something that you usually sit like that. Usually they give maximum time of 2 minutes. Usually people do not last for even 1 minute. But I sat there for 3 minutes around in Paschima Uttanasana. Now there was one more guy who was doing Yogasanas in front of me. He started later than me and he completed that fast. So that is what happened, because I realized that by doing Hatha Yogas, it is for sure that your body becomes more flexible and you get ready to you can sit for a longer period of time. But one thing that I realized, that even if you are simply sitting for a longer period of time and doing some sort of sadhana, your Hatha Yoga becomes better. So this is something that I found very weird in that particular moment, but I could feel that my body becomes so much flexible than it was before. And by this time, I started feeling this last exam syndrome. What last exam syndrome is all about is, when the exam is all about to end, you start feeling joyful about it because it is going to end. So by the 4th and 5th day I started getting this last exam syndrome, and I did not feel like I could sustain one more day. I was feeling like, okay, this is the last day. But still, after 5th day also there were 3 more days left, and because of that something weird happened to me the next day. The next day Samyama process was on, and in the evening I was nothing to do. Now this is the point in which I got panic. Suddenly since the morning I was giving my entire attention, entire focus to the same process continuously, and suddenly when they gave us the complete space, I did not know what to do. When I kept putting my mind into the process, thoughts started coming in different level. I tried to control through this, that, a lots of trick and technique that I applied, tricks that Sadhguru said, I applied all these things and nothing worked. And I did not know what to do. I saw people around me, lots of people were sleeping, and I saw lots of people were doing still meditation, still in the process of doing that. and I got really panicked in that situation, and I did not know what to do. I tried to control myself with all kinds of things, and it didn't happen. So I slept, I did not do the process, but it still did not happen. I went out just to walk, have a walk, but it didn't work. Then I suddenly feel that I think I should go and take a shower. I rushed towards the washroom. I did not just walk, I rushed towards the washroom, and I was really feeling bad about what is going on within me. I felt like if cold water will run through my body, something will change definitely inside me. So I went there, I stand under the shower. I do not know why the shower was so painful to me in that particular moment. It was just giving me enormous amount of pain within me. The water drop that was falling on my body, on my shoulder, on my head, I could not sustain that water either. And somehow when I was thinking that when I'll go to the water or go to the shower, I'll feel better, but it did not do much. But still, I took a shower and I came out of it, and mostly I think 40% around the stress that I was having was gone, and I was feeling a little light, but there was still a sense of stress within me. I was just waiting from that moment onwards that when the gong will happen and I'll go for my dinner and I'll just go back to sleep. I did not wanted to stay awake in that particular moment. I was feeling so stressed in that particular moment. So this is one moment when I realized that how mental issues could be really fatal for humanity, because right now we are going with such a pace towards this mental pandemic that within no time we're gonna get there. I mean, just some decades, it will be happening in such a scale that it will be really difficult for us to control it. So if we are not in a good state of balance and we do not know how to handle all that stuff, then we'll just end up going to psychiatrists. But the problem with going to a psychiatrist is the problem never ends there. It is just a permanent subscription of you that you will go again and again just to tell your problems, what is going on within you. That person will just listen to it, give some medicine to it. For instant solution, it will be working, but it is not a permanent solution for humanity, and this is going to happen and nobody can stop it. But still, what I found is that this yogic part of life, if you are keeping with yourself, then it can help you in a significant way. Whatever you are doing in your life, take yoga with you, and it is not necessary for you to do all the sadhanas by yourself. Only a few sadhanas that can help you in a significant way, and that is one experiment that I was thinking about to conduct myself, and I will definitely do it, because I am planning to record or write one book, and so far I have been writing from last around 1 month. I thought about completing it in just one day, but I'm still writing it on, because somewhere like more and more stuffs are coming into it, and I am trying to accumulate all that stuff into the same book, because so many things needed to be addressed in that book, because I wanted to be a full-fledged book. And when it goes out, it should cater, at least it should fix some people's problem. And I'm not trying to fix some people's problem, but I'm trying to focus more on the fundamentals, that what are the fundamentals of life and how one should approach towards life. 7th day, after doing so much of Samyama process, I still felt that maybe this is not the thing that really everybody wants. And before going to Samyama, I really wanted that it should happen to me, and this is something that I should do. But after going for the Samyama process, I felt like this is something that I have been doing for so long, because since when I started doing Isha Kriya before getting initiated into Sambhavi Mahamudra as well, I was doing similar kind of a stuff. And when I saw the BG Mass documentary in Sadhguru exclusive, exactly this is what Sadhguru advised Vijima to do in the beginning. And when I did, and here in the Samyama he elaborates it and speaks more about it so that you can be able to understand, but the simple aspect of what has to be done before getting yourself more and more into deeper dimensions of life, deeper dimensions of sadhana or yoga. Initially I could not understand the instruction, because when you do not know anything, you are just simply has to follow the instructions. So I was just simply following the instruction, but those instructions were not for me actually, because what they were asking me to do, a 50% of aspect of that instruction was not needed to be done for me. I could do only the rest of the half. So first day I could not understand. I did really struggle to do the sadhanas, Samyama process, but after the second day, another video of Sadhguru came, and in that video the way he explained things, I picked up this is the thing, this is the thing, and this is the thing. So these are the three different things he was talking about, the same simple process. And when I tried to bring all these things into the same process and what he was trying to say, so I could at least understand what is the instruction. So I did not have to understand what is the process of Samyama, because this is not something that I am capable to do, but I am capable to understand what is the instruction, and unless and until I understand what is the instruction, I will not be doing it right. So I wanted to do the instruction right. So that is why I was feeling struggle in the beginning, but somewhere in the next day when he started speaking about things, I could understand that this is what he is talking about. And then after that I started doing so much of things on my own that he was not talking about. He was just talking about simple process, but I started doing something more in terms of experiment wise, that I was doing some sort of experiment from my own side. And guess what? The next day he talked about to do those experiments that I was doing by myself. And this is where I felt that I was going in the right direction. So at least I got a validation that I was not wrong to understand the instruction, and I was not to understand the path, what exactly wanted to convey. So far what I realized that during so many days, and most of the time whatever Sadhguru was speaking, I was just predicting like that, and before he was answering some certain questions, I was predicting the questions like that. When he talks about the spirituality aspect, this is a quite deeper into it, so not everybody is going to grasp that thing, but somewhere I was grasping it, and I kind of understood that what is the main intention behind this Samyama process. So in that is particular moment when I felt that this is not for everyone. Actually, this is not exactly for everyone. Whatever he has given in the form of inner engineering, that is complete program by itself. And if somebody just follows the simple process of Sambhabim, I think that is good enough. That is really good enough. It is going to take a longer period of time, a significant period of time for a human being to go through the process, simple, slow, by step to all the way. But this is the process. This is an amazing process, and I cannot deny that. This is for sure. And at the last day, I did cry again, because every time when ISA program ends, they end it with Guru Puja, because Sadhguru has a problem of starting a program, but he never tells how to end a program. So every time the program ends, they end it with Guru Puja. And during this Guru Puja, the only reason they do Guru Puja is to give or to feel gratitude and grateful about all the master that has been in the past, because for them only yoga still exists right now. When a person becomes enlightened, or when a person learns yoga, most of them, they do not teach. They just go and they just sit, and that's how they end their life. But there are only a few people who choose to go out and teach yoga, because this includes lots of people's pressures, societal structures, all that thing. You have to break all those barriers, and then you have to go out and teach yogas to people. And then that's what Buddha did, that's what Krishna did, that's what Sadhguru is doing right now, that's other teachers are doing right now. Most people are striving, because more you try to expand, more resistance you will face, and this is not something that everybody wants to go. So if somebody is getting enlightened, somebody can just sit and live the body just like that, and live the rest of the life just like that, blissful, happy. Why the person has the need to go out and teach? There is no need. But just because everybody is suffering the same life that somebody is enjoying in such amazing way, they feel like maybe it's something that I have to do about these people. And if people are telling me this, that and everything else, it doesn't matter, because I'm anyway blissful within myself. So this reminds me a quote of Buddha, that when Buddha was asked that if you want to go to the heaven or something, so Buddha said, I do not want to go to heaven, please send me to the hell, because I'm made in such a way that even if you send me to the hell, I'll be still enjoying it. So if somebody is made in such a way, so that is what Gurus has always been doing, that irrespective of it is not needed for them, they have always lived their life for their disciples and lived their life for everybody. And that is how this program ends. And that single fact that the Gurus, they just are spreading this limitless grace to everybody, and this simple fact made me very emotional. I cried again. So this is the second time I cried in the entire program, and that was the end of it. And at the end of the program, actually somebody recognized me that I make video, and that was the first sentence with which I broke my silence. This is not a good thing. I wanted to keep my silence a little bit longer, but this guy understood me, figured it out, and he asked me, now when you are making your next video. So I said, yeah, it will come very soon. So yesterday only I came and started making video, but the charge of my camera went off, and then I had to come here today and record this next part of this video. Now the end part of this video is, what is my suggestion towards you? First thing is, Hatha Yoga is something that you have to do as much as possible, because irrespective of what you do, you feel the pain. But more you do Hatha Yogas, it will be better for you, because you will be able to sit for longer period of time and you will be able to experience the process in a much better way. The second thing is, do Sukha Kriya, and when you are doing Sukha Kriyas, please focus on your breath. Usually when I used to do Sukha Kriya, when I was preparing for it, most of the time when I used to just go out of my mind and Sukha Kriya is happening, the breath is happening, alternatively everything is happening, but I was just going somewhere. I was not there. It is best that you focus on your breath when you are doing Sukha Kriya. Just do not go like that. And when you are sitting, try to sit minimum 30 minutes to 1 hour at one stretch, and that's how you can make the process better and make it more simpler and easier for you. And do not expect anything. And so far whatever I spoke to you, even if I talk about something about the program, this is not going to have any impact on your experience. It's just that I said as a personal story, but when you will go, you will feel yourself completely different in terms of the program, whatever will happen. And I would say this is the high time that we need to take yoga very seriously, because usually when we take yogas, most of the time what we say is, I do not have time for yogas and all. But that's only we say is because we have mainstream our job and career and everything in the mainstream, and yoga as a side, simple small project, just like that, just a hobby. But we have to keep yoga as mainstream, because living the life is the biggest thing. This is the first thing, because if you are living the life, then only you can do the rest of the things, right? So it is best that we start focusing on living aspect, and then second, we can focus on all the other aspects. So as a part of the life, living life, yoga must be incorporated in this one. And since the morning, the first thing that has to happen is yoga. Yoga is not the process of practicing. At least practice must happen every single day. And yoga is something that will happen over the time, and if nothing happens, still there is high chances that good things will happen to you, because it is something that attracts a lots of good vibes into your life. So that is all I had to share about the Samyama process, and if you come, definitely you'll want to enjoy it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.